We're back with the bigger picture.
There is seemingly little hope when you're born into poverty and despair. But in Toronto's inner city neighborhood of Regent Park, there's a remarkable story about a 13-year-old poet who's a shining star. His words have managed to shock, captivate, and inspire many all at the same time. Our Anthony Robart with more.
I walk down this filthy, impure neighborhood. It's a disease, terminal, forever inoperable, uncurably aidable.
Robert Frost once described poetry as a way of taking life by the throat.
Intensive marks, offensive remarks, and waiting for results to turn out good. Burned out, misunderstood. Concerned doubts, yet we're expected to do what we should, like waiting money to roll in like you would.
Meet 13-year-old Mustafa Ahmed. His poetry has a grip so tight,
it's you that fails to prevail in full truth.
Some find the words tough to swallow.
Ask why we put drugs on sale, but sometimes it's hard to feed a family of 5 being the only male. It's hard to be a single mother with only a basket and food, or frail. It's hard breaking down every day.
Mustafa is from Regent Park, a tough, no-nonsense neighborhood in downtown Toronto. As for shocking his audience, Mustafa makes no apologies.
Tears of hail rushing down to the floor, leaving puddle trails, and with every soul in the hood trail, there's another heartfelt tale that will have your jaw broken on the floor, traumatized with every detail. I walk.
If hearing about these things is difficult, he says try living them.
So I watch as every dream dies in insanity, and I walk, facing this harsh reality.
Tell me what got you into poetry.
My sister used to write poetry when she since for a long time, and so I used to listen to her poetry, and I used to listen to how she wrote poetry, and I got inspired by that, so I started to write poetry.
Mustafa began writing poetry just a few years ago.
Your poetry describes poverty, crime, drugs, violence.
Yeah.
How does that reflect your experiences?
It does reflect my experience, because that's basically, I write about what I see, and so that's what I see, and then I start writing about it.
Mustafa's parents emigrated from the Sudan nearly 20 years ago. He has lived in Regent Park all his life. But despite experiencing many hardships, this grade 8 student remains full of hope. He credits his family and a strong Muslim faith for that. He wrote this poem, A Single Rose, when he was only 10.
Picture this, a single rose in a run-down park. With that, he shows us the light, gives us the strength to fight, perhaps giving us an opportunity to experience the light. So I'm here to raise awareness for those who care about the injustices everywhere. Can't we share some time and spare a lifeline and let people know that life doesn't have to be a nightmare? Before you go into thinking about hope and everything, you have to know where you stand, and you have to know what surrounds you and what you have to fix, and you have to recognize the issues in the society. Don't let me be this single rose in this run-down park.
Nicole Pearson is Mustafa's school principal at Nelson Mandela Park Public School.
He is a rose in what isn't always a torn down park. It may appear that way, but really, truly deep down, there's incredible, wonderful things happening here.
It must be said that Regent Park, despite its reputation, is a neighborhood in transition. One that began a couple of years ago and will continue for many years to come. In addition to the periodic sound of the siren, you'll hear this.
They're not just building new condos in the place of rundown apartments, but also building a sense of hope, where for years, even decades, there's been very little. What do you think of all of these changes? The construction, the attempts to clean up the neighborhood. What do you think about that?
It's good and bad in a sense, because I feel like it's bad because when they break down all the buildings and when they're breaking down everything, it's just like they're destroying the community and destroying the memories that was had in this community. But at the same time, it's a good thing because like we get to have better and cleaner neighborhood, and like a house that we can be proud of, a neighborhood we can be proud of.
Mustafa and his family will be uprooted from the only home he's known this summer. Like so many others, forced to move away to another neighborhood, at least for a couple of years. For now, Mustafa is the de facto spokesperson for his community, one in desperate need of a voice.
I want people to see what Regent Park is about, and I want them to see that it's not only about the violence, and that it's about peace, and there's a sense of camaraderie when you come to this community. To trust someone is based on a clarity of judgment. To trust is to believe you have the person 100% through nothing and everything, anything sought for but can't be fought for, since that's what it's not for. And even if I'm in a crowd of 1 million and I only touch one person, then that's good enough for me. And every word of repetition slain in vain, causing some heart's pain. Insane. Trust is a must. Got without thought, nor for free or cash bought.
Coming up on 16 by 9.
The opportunity to see these immediate and dramatic results, it's such a rewarding experience.
That is the ultimate goal. The one day nobody would see a 15-year-old teenage girl selling noodles in the street with a clapper.
That's next.